Alright, bruh. You know what it is. As promised, keeping up Panda Dares, keeping the Walking Dead series. Now, for anyone confused, so I guess I should make a Walking Dead only playlist because it's such a big game. But I just figured because I played the whole Telltale, like not the whole Telltale series. I need to get back on that actually. We're trying back that soon. But I didn't play the whole series. But I'm saying for the games I did play, I just figured I'd throw them in one playlist. But everything in that series, all these videos I'm reacting to are in the Telltale Tour. That's the name of the playlist. So that's where you can find these videos at if you want to see me reacting to them. And the entire series too. Every video he's done, we've covered. So anyway, man. I think it's video contains spoilers for Walking Dead season 2. I think it's more season 2 mysteries, bases around that. And I believe if we recall last video, last time we covered season 2, last time Panda Dares covered season 2, I believe I threw in the mystery about Sarah's mom because I was kind of had a question about her, and then she was like kind of never, she was lightly mentioned, but they didn't explain like really what happened to her. So yeah, man. All right, bro. Without further ado, let's get into it. Panda Dares, more Walking Dead season 2 mysteries, Telltale series. Please like, comment, subscribe, baby. You know what it is. Let's get it started.
Previously on The Walking Dead.
After completing every Walking Dead season in order, we rekindled the series, returning to The Walking Dead Season 1 for the few mysteries that I had initially overlooked, including a few viewer suggestions in the comment section. Thank you guys for all of the support thus far. I can't believe it's been a year already.
Yeah, that
anyway,
actually, yeah, no, that
Dead
is crazy too. I can't believe it's been a year, bro. Like I don't even remember how I stumbled upon your videos, Panda. I think it just was recommended to me because games I play. And I think around that time I was like doing Telltale stuff. I was playing Telltale games at the same time. That's like how I came around your channel. But yeah, it is crazy. It's been a year already, man.
Thank you guys for all of the support thus far. I can't
You're
believe
welcome.
It's been a year already. Anyway, here are more The Walking Dead Season 2 Unsolved Mysteries. From the whereabouts of the most mysterious group of people in fiction, to a strange, almost mythical location that's mentioned once, to never be seen or heard from again.
Okay. Walking Dead, more mysteries, baby. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I never really, I guess I never really considered. I never even thought about the campsite family, or even like really gave them thought. Like, yeah, you find the picture and you like, yeah, you find their dog, obviously, because I recognize the dog from the photo, but I never really thought shit of it, to be honest. So this is, I don't know, this is a good pick.
Looks like they were a happy family once.
The story of Sam the dog, however short, is perhaps the most depressing in the game. As much as I have my problems with Season 2, it does an amazing job at setting its tone right from the start. Witnessing the deaths of the only remaining Season 1 characters in Omid and Krista, Kenny still presumed dead at this point of course, only to immediately present us with a false sense of solace at our lowest point in Sam. It's actually horrible playing this section, I can't lie. What's interesting though is that Sam was originally intended to have a much bigger role in Season 2. You can see him here in concept art fighting off walkers and aiding Clementine in her journey. The extent
okay, so let me go back there, because that would have been nice, you know what I'm saying,
to have a much bigger role in Season 2. You can see him here in concept art.
Yeah, that'd have been nice to have him as like a companion, I guess, at least of the forest arc, bro, because they got you walking through the forest just alone, alone, scared Clementine. She's what, all of 10 or 11 at the time? They got you running through the forest and the dog turns on you, so, that'd be nice. And also, if The Walking Dead ever released like a re-release of the game with like a different, I don't know, like different versions of the game almost, kind of like what, if you guys have ever played, I'm kind of yapping here, if you guys ever played like, why am I blanking on the name, like Man of Medan, like Dark Pictures Anthology, that studio. Like how they'll have their story one way, but they'll literally send out updates and update the story so different shit happens. If like The Walking Dead kind of did like shit like that, that'd be sick as hell, to be honest.
Fighting off walkers and aiding Clementine in her journey.
And their games would be
The extent of Sam's integration as a potential lead character in this early script is unknown. It's too bad we'll never see this reality exist beyond a few forgotten images.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Sam isn't the real mystery here. When we inspect the van in search of food, we find a photograph of Sam's family. Because they are nowhere to be seen, it appears they have all since died or abandoned their campsite in the woods, leaving Sam all by himself. It's our job to find out what happened to them.
We're gonna investigate.
Starting with the dad, it's implied that this guy who tied himself to the tree is meant to be him. After being bit on his right shoulder and attempting to cut it out, he tied himself to this tree to avoid harming anyone after reanimating. Even the wiki lists his status as dead. At some point in the apocalypse, this man was bitten on the upper arm and succumbed to the infection. Killed by Clementine, zombified.
Yeah, they don't even give him a name. Yo, did they give him a name? Yo, his name is just Father. Come on now, Walking Dead. You guys can at least give the man a name instead of just, dead, like dead father. Damn. Dead.
Later, he is put down by Clementine, who bashes his head in with a tree branch. So Mr.
Damn, so not even his daughter, like, they don't even, like, unnamed. Damn. Actor. So does this mean they had no voice actor for? Oh, because they'd probably, I'd say no voice actor for him, but damn. They could have at least named the family. They got a wife and daughter. That's it. Damn. Walking Dead Studios.
Zombified. Later, he is put down by Clementine, who bashes his head in with a tree branch. So mystery solved, right? Well, maybe. One thing doesn't add up though. His only identifying characteristic, in this case a tattoo on his right shoulder, is absent on his walker.
Did he maybe... Hold on.
Maybe. One thing doesn't add up though. His only identifying characteristic, in this case a tattoo.
Would he maybe... Do you think he maybe cut it... Actually, no, because he wouldn't have cut the whole tattoo out. It still would have been on the arm. I'm thinking maybe he cut it out, or maybe that cut... Actually, no, because the cut only looks like... It doesn't look big enough to take out the whole tattoo. Good find, I guess. I was going to say maybe he cut out that tattoo, as part of the bite. But at most, it only would have took out... Because I'm saying it looks like the shoulder's like right here. And from the photo, you can't really see what I'm saying. Like, it must have would have took out a bit of the tattoo, not the whole thing. So maybe some shit happened to where it rotted off his skin. Maybe I gotta look that up. Is that a thing? Like, what happens to? I'm trying respectfully. What happens to dead people's tattoos, bro? Like when they obviously, like, we know bugs come and eat you. I think you obviously decompose, but like, do they fade away eventually? Do they just like completely fade off the skin, or like how does that work on like a dead person? If they live long enough for the tat, like if the body stays intact enough for the tattoo to decompose, like dissolve.
On his right shoulder.
We went down a rabbit hole, but I'm just genuinely curious. Like, could a tattoo like if we had zombies walking around this bitch, would tattoos like be dissolving off of them over time?
On his walker. However, he still has familiar items of clothing, including his white tank top and red wristbands. This confirms that it was definitely him. The location and circumstances of his death are...
And then obviously he had hair, but obviously your body, as you're the zombie, you know what I'm saying? Your hair probably stops producing hair follicles, so all zombies are bald eventually. I'm surprised that that's another thing too. I'm surprised we don't see all bald zombies because technically their hair follicles are dead because the body is dead, so there's no zombie should have any hair at all.
Are much too coincidental to entertain the theory that this is another person. Sam's mother is next, categorized as unknown.
I agree. So I agree overall with the father. That's a done deal. Just with the wristband and just given the evidence, the tank top, the photos, it makes sense.
It is mysterious in that she was the longest surviving member of her family for reasons we'll get to soon. If anyone was still alive by the events of season 2, it was her.
Yo, I'm sorry, I keep pausing, bro. I just realized they gave the dog Sam a name, but not like actual humans. That's just hilarious to me. Okay, I'm done spam pausing. I'm sorry.
Or that's what I thought. Unfortunately, a walk down to the river may reveal her final resting place. On the right side of this scene, there's an option to look at a dead walker. It's believed that this is her. Her body is mangled beyond recognition, however, the camera pans behind the walker if we inspect it. The hair colour is a perfect match. Her death was even more disturbing than her husband's. We can't even begin to imagine what she went through. She was likely bitten first, then she amputated her own arm unsuccessfully, subsequently dying of blood loss or infection before a signpost was driven through her head. As a walker, hopefully. Her eyes are also gone. Besides...
So I have a question on that. I mean, they had a whole campsite over there, you know what I'm saying? We had a whole family, a whole RV with food. Because you gotta think, we found a can of beans over there. Remember, we found food there. So they had food. You're telling me she didn't have like enough medical supplies to maybe, so I mean, he amputated unsuccessfully. So her arm she could have still cut off her arm. I'm thinking that if she died from blood loss, like she could have died from blood loss because in theory, they should have had enough supplies over there to at least bandage that up. Given they had a whole RV of food, they got to have a whole RV of medical supplies too. So they should have had enough medical supplies to bandage that up. The whole like the bleeding out from the amputation doesn't ride for me. But obviously, if you don't cut the arm off soon enough, she could still go. So I guess this still does float. But as far as like bleeding out from amputation, that shouldn't be. Given they had a whole camp back there with supplies in it.
Infection before a signpost.
The blood loss. Yeah, I don't know about the blood loss because they're radically. It all depends too. I mean, she wasn't too far from where they were at, so you got to imagine they should have been together somewhat until the end. I don't know. I just feel like she should have known with the dude tied up at the tree. She should have known. Maybe there were still supplies over there for her to use. Unless they only brought food. Unless they said, fuck it, we're coming out the woods and we're only bringing food. Which I could see. I could see in the apocalypse. Don't get me wrong, I could see that too. But I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know about the whole blood loss thing. But I could see like the whole bite, if you don't cut it off before.
Driven through her head. As a walker, hopefully. Her eyes are also gone. Besides the prominent walker population in these woods, the threat of messed up individuals who make Carver look like Lee Everett in comparison, and dangerous animals are commonplace. There's a theory that she was bitten by a poisonous snake rather than a walker. With nothing to stop the infection, the consequences play out exactly the same. Finally, the little...
Okay, so that brings me to another question. I know I test spam, but what do walkers? And I guess maybe I gotta watch the show. Do the walkers or read the show? Maybe I watch the show and read the comics. But do the walkers like eat the animals too? Is that a thing? Are they like zombie? I mean, we never seen one in the Walking Dead game, but is there like zombie deer and zombie bears? I don't think that's the thing in the show, but like I'm guessing the walkers eat the animals too. But that's true. Why would you? Already thinking ahead. Why would you bring your family out? So there's already infected. I get you want to be in the forest, but then you bring yourself out to where there's like dangerous animals. Anywhere there's bears, bruh. I say anywhere there's bears, moose, and snakes. No. You got to think better, bruh. Because they're only gonna make it harder for you to survive, especially with the dead around.
Girl's fate is the most ambiguous on this list. She's the only character who isn't shown as a walker. There's a small chance that she pulled a Clementine and toughed it out on her own until she found help after losing her parents. That's what I believed for a long time. It's good to remain hopeful in these situations that at least one member of her family survived. But once again, there's another piece of evidence linking her to the riverside, in the same patch of earth as her mother. It's surprisingly easy to miss, but instead of walking straight after climbing the stairs, walk left until you see an interactable off in the distance. You'll encounter an unnamed makeshift gravesite marking the spot where she was buried. Clementine has no words, and neither do I. Well, I have some.
Damn.
It means that she died first, enabling her parents to perform the burial, a gesture that was not granted to either of them. This makes me believe that both her parents were bitten at the same time. Because we cannot see her, we don't know how she died or if this is even her, so it's anybody's guess at this point.
There's also no memorial offering indicating that this grave belongs to a child, such as a teddy bear or photograph. Oh, okay. I mean, but you got to think you can't prove it, I guess. Yeah, that's true. I'm rolling with that.
I was always creeped out by the state of these tents, highlighting the aftermath of a bandit raid or bear attack. This was never a safe environment for a child, especially near a river. The same beware your surroundings signpost.
Yeah, so like I was saying, he just said the same thing. Why, like it's not safe. It's about like seeing this sign right away, bro. Like there's more bears. Is that what mountain lion he said? Is that a wolf? Like what the snakes? No. Black bears, coyotes, mountain lions, poison snakes, or other species. So there's more than that. It says other species. Well, what other species, bro? No, I'm good. You guys got to be smarter. Right? Know your surroundings, bro. I wish they would have made better decisions out here.
Also warns of coyotes, mountain lions, and other dangerous animals, with the looming threat of everyone and everything out to kill you. It's no surprise why this family all perished sometime during the 16-month time skip. Sam the dog survived the longest, hunting small animals and drinking fresh water from the river. He concludes the photograph's final status. All of them died horrible deaths.
Yeah, I'm going with that. The daughter's fate is 100%. We don't know for sure. So I'll take that, Panadares. That's good so far. I'll go with that.
Hate you.
Nick's father wasn't there much.
Hey!
And he was a piece
Maybe you'll
of
talk about
shit
Carlos's
when he
or
was.
Sarah's
so it fell
mom.
to me to keep him in line, raise him right. Meant I couldn't just be nice Uncle Pete.
Does anyone actually like the cabin group? Seriously, how can anyone like this group of incompetent assholes? Okay, Season 2's cabin group was never the most organised, competent, or even friendly at times, but you have to remember that they were dealing with severe stress and trauma when Clementine joined them. Carver was hunting them down, as former members of his community turned fugitives. It explains their initial skepticism and distrust of Clementine, believing her to be a spy sent by Carver. I covered this topic in my first Season 2 video. Carlos was content with letting her die due to the infection. That's how paranoid these people were.
Just see what's what in the morning.
But Carlos said...
I'm still not over that Carlos couldn't tell a bite. Gertie's a doctor, not a vet. But I'm like, he should have been able to tell like a dog bite from a human bite right away. And that doesn't make sense to me.
She could die if she doesn't get her arm treated.
Assuming she doesn't turn.
That true?
The way they're
The
talking
girl
about
could
girl,
really die.
yo.
If the infection spreads, anything's possible. It could definitely get a whole lot worse for her.
Pete and Nick are my favourite characters of this group, and it's not even close. I love the dynamic between the uncle and the nephew. It felt genuine considering what they were going through at the time, dealing with the loss of his mother, Pete's sister. His actions are a byproduct of this experience. Although cynical, he's brave and kind-hearted, but makes rational decisions to defend those he cares about. In Pete's words, boy's got his mum's temper. I've seen people unironically compare Nick to Ben when they're actually polar opposites. Ben wouldn't throw himself in front of a herd of walkers while drunk to save a little girl. Tell me who your favourite character is? Luke, Alvin and Sarah are all good answers too. For this mystery, I wanted to talk more about the cabin survivors' past, and the lost characters who died before we showed up. This has sparked many conversations over time, so shedding some light on the cabin group's past.
Sarah's mother, yeah, okay. Damn, people been asking that since 2014. Damn, I was late as hell to that. But I also do agree. I should have acted in the moment. I do agree with that too. Behind, like, for the comparison Panda Dare's made from Ben to Nick, that yeah, Ben would never throw himself. He would get Clementine caught up and almost get her killed. Like he just showed the clip. Yeah, Ben, no. So Nick's a good character. I'd say out of the cabin, I probably liked Alvin the most. To me he was the most genuine and most common sense thinking and like most normal person. And then it's sad how he goes out. You know what I'm saying? It really is sad. So.
What happened to Nick's mother is common knowledge, but it's still a tragic story, resembling the Garcia family massacre in A New Frontier's prologue. After forgiving Nick for his actions at the dinner table on night 1, Luke will disclose the story to us. One day, the group found a female survivor who had been bitten
What's up,
and
Chad? How you
attempted to
doing,
treat
Chad?
her
How you guys
injury,
doing?
believing they could control the infection. Despite their efforts, she turned and attacked Nick's mother. Then
The Walking Dead Wiki, North Carolina. Eventually, they stumbled into a cabin, society's temporary home, until they could be sure Carver was not looking for them. One day, the group found a female survivor who had been bitten and attempted to treat her injury, believing they could control the infection. Despite their efforts, hold on, I think he's reading.
Nick had to kill her instead.
Yeah, okay. Despite their efforts, the survivor returned and attacked Nick's mother, who was later shot by Nick to prevent reanimation. His mother's death led Nick into a deep depression and set a seed for mistrust of every other survivor outside of his group. Damn.
Dead. He doesn't speak about the incident himself until episode 2 in the shed. All he says in the beginning is that it was his fault, meaning he was either responsible for letting the girl inside, or he didn't want to kill her. I believe the latter is correct because of Pete's story. We learn that Nick was too empathetic to shoot animals as a child. The death of his mum was a disaster that led him into a deep depression, most noticeable in episode 2 where you have to convince him to leave the shed, rather than letting himself die. I searched around the house a little, but couldn't find any photographs of Nick's family or anyone we know of, minus Sarah, but that doesn't count.
Actually, also, I want to give a shout out to Panda Dares too, because I don't know if he did it for this room, but it just made me think when he did that. Sometimes he'll go like live stream on YouTube and like peep it. So like he'll go on live stream on YouTube and he'll like investigate the bounds in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty sick, man. So he'll go under and he's gonna. I think he might do it in this video too. He's gonna show. I think that's what he was implying when I don't know if he did that for this. Hey, Panda Dares, if you can let me know, man. Did you like try doing the bounce thing for this room to see if you could find anything like any hidden letters or anything like that? But anyway, sometimes he goes and he'll like go and investigate like the bounds in The Walking Dead. It's pretty sick.
Family heirlooms.
You guys see it on live stream. It's pretty sick.
Hopefully he ever owned this place before the apocalypse made it to safety. Here's the strange thing though. The death of Nick's mother is implied to have taken place fairly recently, while they were living at the cabin, but neither Carver, Bonnie, Reggie, who helped them escape the first time, or anyone else in Season 2 references her. It's as if she never existed. A couple of farm boys and an old man, Carlos and Sarah, Alvin and Rebecca. One theory is that Carver was already made aware of her death and simply passed on that information via walkie-talkie.
Or just didn't give a fuck. Maybe it just wasn't really relevant to him, I guess. I don't know. That's all I can think of for Carver not to...
to Tavia. The group could have left a grave for her nearby, allowing Carver to pinpoint their general location. According to Pete, Nick's dad was an irresponsible parent. He wasn't in his life much, and was a piece of shit when he was. Pete stepped up and accepted the responsibility of raising him instead. I can't believe my favourite characters die like this. More about that in Mystery 4, by the way. If you're going to kill off Pete, then Nick should have survived to the finale or into episode 5 at least. This is the only time Nick's dad is ever talked about. He likely abandoned his family long before the dead started walking around. Imagine if Nate was Nick's dad. I don't know why, but he's the only guy who sticks out.
Why? Because they have hats and they both have like the green,
to
similar
me.
eyes.
Of course, I have nothing to back this up besides his
Nate doesn't seem that old. And then, I mean, no, he's probably weird. He probably wouldn't talk about it. Never
demeanor, the fact that he's by himself, and that they look kind of similar. Let's be honest.
But yeah, chat. So sorry, I got to chat. Yeah, peep my YouTube games. I got clips, everything out there too. I got some gaming videos on here on my Twitch too. So peep it, peep really quick. Just peep my page if you want to see me playing the games. We're gonna be playing more later tonight. We're gonna be playing more games later soon. So
the real topic of Mystery 2 is Sarah's mother. I just wanted an excuse to talk about Nick.
Yeah. So I got Sarah's mother, baby, the one I recommended, baby.
For a few minutes.
Well, it's been recommended since 2014.
In my 400 days video, I talked more about the creepy bulletin board photographs of non-playable characters, most of which were either concept art or cameos from other Walking Dead media. Initially, Survivor 2 reminded me a lot of an older Sarah, but it's difficult to tell with the lack of detail. When I look at this again, I don't think there's any relation. I'm pretty sure this character is black, not Hispanic.
Plus on the timeline too, because she said that looked like an older version of Sarah. Plus on the timeline, season 2 was after Walking Dead, like the 400 days. So, I mean, for her to be older in the past is kind of crazy, no?
So
they're like backwards, I guess?
It's confirmed by the CEO of Telltale that Sarah developed PTSD due to her exposure to the apocalypse. This is why Carlos is overprotective of her, unwilling to subject his only child to the harsh reality.
I mean, she's a child, and on top of that, we don't even know what happened to her mom. So it's like, not only that, right? So imagine the mental toll. So you're not even, they're not even, my bad, you're tweaked out. So you're not just dealing with the loss of your mother, however that happened, you know what I'm saying? You're also dealing with the PTSD from the apocalypse. Like, this is something like no one has ever dealt with before in your life. So there is no correct coping or no way to cope yet, at least. So Sarah, I kind of get it. And her character throughout the game, like the fact that you had to force her, like to me, she just seemed like depressed. She didn't seem traumatized at the end of the game. She just seemed like depressed to where she didn't want to even go on. So to the point where you had to literally force her. If you don't force her, she just died herself. So I don't know, Sarah, I do feel for you, bro. Sarah, I do feel for you, but I don't know. You always gotta have that will to live, man. And it's just for real. Like, always gotta find a will to live, no matter what happens, for real.
Of the world any longer than she already has. She is sheltered and naive, as can be expected from a girl her age. But what is the source of this traumatic experience? Neither Carlos nor Sarah herself ever mentioned her. This couldn't have been something as simple as a person getting eaten alive, otherwise Troy's death would have prompted immense panic and shortness of breath. The only option left is the death of a loved one. Carlos does say that she's all I have left on night 1, so the possibility of his wife dying at the hands of a walker or even a person is high. Sarah displays symptoms of PTSD in the presence of Carver in episode 2. She's terrified of him. On top of this, Carver is overtly hostile towards Carlos in particular at the ski.
Well, I guess it's the apocalypse, doesn't matter. I was gonna ask, does Carlos ever show a wedding ring? You know, because it could have been too that the mom just left them. I don't see that. Based on the story, I don't see that. But it could have been that too, because it doesn't say. I don't know. And I come to think about it, I don't think did Carlos ever mention he was married? Maybe I'm yapping, but did he ever mention he was married to Sarah's mom? I mean, yeah, he did say that Sarah is all he had left, but he didn't ever mention like, yo, I had this wife. That's what I'm saying. Carlos never gave us his full sob story, and I guess we didn't get to hear it out because he got shot in the neck, unfortunately, at the end. Or not the end, when we were leaving Carver's place, at the end, when we got leaving Carver's place. We never got to hear his full story out, but I mean, we never did. I mean, all that time we spent with him, we never heard his sob story once about, he never cracked open and said, oh, well, this is what happened to my wife. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened to Sarah. He didn't give us a definitive story, so I feel like that's kind of up to speculation. Could the mom have left before the apocalypse? I don't know. Just leave it up. Let me know in the comments, bro.
Specifically, did he betray Carver's trust before, leading to the death of his wife? Did Carlos threaten to kill Sarah if he ever stepped out of line again, facilitating their escape in the first place to avoid prosecution?
And also, that's a good point. So, like you just said, Panadares, with the last people, you said that with who was it? You said that Carver didn't mention Nick's mom. You said Carver didn't mention him. Well, did Carver ever mention Carlos's wife ever? Because I don't recall that either. I don't ever recall Carver ever mentioning Carlos's wife. In fact, I'm pretty sure he would have, because he probably would have used it to throw it in his face, you know what I'm saying, when he was insulting him. Like, in this moment, like, oh, that's why your wife... Again, I'm not like... I would never say this to a real person in real life, but I'm saying, like, like Carver said, like, you hit him in the stomach and embarrassed, say, oh, that's why your wife's dead, or that's why I shot your wife. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't Carver have taunted him about it, too, if Carver had known about his wife before the apocalypse? Or at least before, when he originally met them? And that, so I say that to kind of imply that, like, even when the group originally met Carver, that Sarah's mom wasn't originally with them. Just given that Carlos never shows a ring, he never gives a sob story, and then on top of that, like you just said, Panda, Carver doesn't seem to mention her. I at least I don't remember. Maybe I got to play it again, but I don't remember Carver ever mentioning Carlos's wife either. So.
And to protect their families. Anything's possible. Alvin's
but again, let me know
in
the comments, or let me know if I'm wrong.
All the evidence we need to demonstrate how far Carver was willing to go to protect his own ego and leadership status. In the end, we don't really know what happened to Sarah's mother.
Yeah.
All we know is that whatever it was caused her family severe trauma that would...
And you can get trauma from a parent just leaving your life too. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely true. But I don't know. It could be anything. She could have been killed. She could have just left. She could have got separated. She could have lost. We never know, because Carlos never really gives us a sob story. Like I said, he never flexes a wedding ring. You never find like a photo. You never like. There's no like hidden, to me, because I played the game over and over. At least to me, like there's no like hidden way, and then no one ever talks about it too. Like Sarah never talks about it. Like she doesn't even talk about a memory. Sarah doesn't even talk about her mom. Really? I mean, maybe I'm yappy, but she never talks about, like, maybe she talks about it briefly, but she doesn't say, oh, I remember this time with my mom when I was a kid, or like she never even talks about her child. And Sarah's what, 13, 14? She's not a little kid. So she had time with her mom before the apocalypse happened. I'm going, you know what? I'm going with the theory that her mom or something happened before the apocalypse. Because Sarah doesn't even talk about her mom. From my playthrough, and maybe I'm yapping, Sarah doesn't even talk about her childhood memories from her mom. Carlos doesn't tell us what happened. Carlos never flexes a ring. Carver doesn't talk about Carlos's wife. I don't know. I'm thinking something happened before, maybe. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Panda, let me know.
Lying about the dog bite on Clementine's arm just to justify locking her up in a shed so she could die to the infection are the actions of a mentally scarred individual.
There's a town across the river.
This is a good one too. A good point.
Or at least it might be a good stop on the way.
So what happened here then? 1 second they're hyping this place up like it's...
Hold on, I wanna read those comments.
1 second they're hyping this place...
Stop on the way.
So what happened?
Anyone know what the church down across the lake in season 2 is gonna be? They dead ass forgot about it. I noticed that's something that happens a lot in season 2. I need to know, does anyone know what it was going to lead up to? It's a good fanfic material, in my opinion. As far as I know, nobody knows for sure what the church town was about. There's theories and there's rumors about season 2's original story, which as far as I've been able to piece together are largely false and or exaggerated, but nothing concrete that extends to the church. All we know is that it was, well, a church. But we've seen also, like, The Walking Dead, I think with season 3 or season 4, I think it was season 4. They took a piece that was supposed to be original story, just made like the title screen, or they did something with season 4. I think we've seen them do that before, where like they'll take a piece of something, hype it up, or say something about it, and then like totally forget about it, or use it for something else and just never touch it again. It is unfortunate that we do see that.
Here then, 1 second they're hyping this place up like it's heaven on earth, and 5 minutes later they're following some lunatic through the woods to his.
And it's like that is true. We didn't even really explore around. We followed some kid that we originally had captured, which because he told us what he lured us so there's any more medicines or some shit. Yeah, but they decided it's better to follow Arvo. Akito recently led his group to steal Clementine's group supplies instead of going to the original station. The reason they risked Rebecca's well-being. Yeah, I don't know. That was I didn't think about it in the moment. That's a good point. Why didn't we just stick to our original destination? Why fuck around with this kid, dude? We just honestly take his shit. Fuck Arvo. Take his meds. Take whatever he got. Fuck him and his family. Take his meds, and then we continue on our. Let him be. And then we continue on our point. Whatever shack because eventually you're at some fucking shack when you meet Arvo or wherever you're at. You know what I'm saying? Take the medicine from him. Let that nigga be. Come everyone else. Everyone else we go to the town. Why are we fucking around with Arvo? Why stay with him? It only leads to people getting killed.
House instead. In the closing sequence of Amid the Ruins, Bonnie and Clementine suggest this riverside town.
To go even further, bro. And I'm sorry because I'm in depth in this. I'm motivated. You guys end up in a fucking house and Clementine ends up getting shot. You know what I'm saying? You guys are in some house and in some like snow forest while snow is pouring down on you. So instead of going to like a town where there's more coverage, there's more there's more space, there's more indoor covers, there's more houses, there's more places to go. You guys go to like this one you guys follow Arvo, you know what I'm saying, get into this big shootout, and you guys eventually go in this little shack, or not this little rundown house with with nothing in it essentially. And then you guys have to leave because Clementine gets shot. So like I don't know, I'm going that far, man. It made no sense. It really didn't make you derailed. They literally derailed from the whole point. You know what I'm saying, for the whole town. It makes no sense.
It's a place to rest and stock up on supplies before venturing north. I've always questioned how bad the walker population was, if there was any survivors or supplies to aid them in their journey, supplies that could have saved someone's life. The hypotheticals are endless, and
right, and then that's the thing that pisses me off is like, okay, but you got to think you're not too far. Actually, I can't remember. I can't remember how far you guys walked. I don't remember how long you guys walked. But it's like you got to think you still got to be within range of that town. So even here, like even when it's just you, Jane, and Kenny, you guys should be heading that town. You know, so you guys should be at least checking it out. At least checking it out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just driving right by it. Like, come on, or driving past it. Wherever you guys are at this point, it doesn't. I don't know if it clarifies. Let me know in the comments. I don't know if it clarifies how far you guys are away from that town you guys originally saw, but man,
cooler than what we actually got. Standing from the highest point at the observation deck, most of the town is obscured behind the forest. I can only make out 3 buildings: a cathedral on the left, a capitol building on the right, and a smaller building off in the distance, which may or may not be connected to it. Other than this, there's no concept art, no mention online besides a few forum posts, and we can't see it up close. It really is the most mysterious thing in the game as far as I'm concerned. Thankfully, I'm not taking no for an answer on this one. In these situations, it's best to use a free cam to inspect.
Yes, okay, so this is what I was talking about. He uses the free cam to go outside the bounds so he can like move around and see shit you usually can't see. That's why it's so cool. Shout out Panda Dares, man.
Things from far away or otherwise hidden due to natural barriers or in-game cutscenes.
See?
Here we are at the Civil War Museum campsite. There's a few information boards set up detailing the regulations and location of nearby hiking trails. For viewers of my last video, these have been plastered with the same FRS evacuation notices seen in 400 Days. One of these boards depict our surroundings in much more detail than the rest. We are currently at the Civil War historical ruins. Just north of this is the observation deck, of course, and west of the Grand River is our lead, downtown.
Small black church icon makes it obvious that downtown is the same place mentioned throughout episode 4. It's essentially just the town center. Yeah, downtown. You gotta think that's a whole city down here. So I wonder, where the fuck did we go from here then? We're like, where? And man, the observing that, but I don't know, man. Why? Why didn't we just go? Why didn't we just go straight down? I don't know. Why didn't we just go from here straight down downtown? Well, I don't know. Then again, we did say Lee did tell us to stay away from cities, right? But then this isn't like a big city though. This is more like a small town. I don't know. Still worth checking out in my opinion.
Now for the fun part. Downtown, as I'm calling it from now on, is visible from both the observation deck, but also earlier in episode 4 at the campsite, albeit incredibly difficult to see. Both of these locations are sequences that are rendered separately during load screens, meaning there's actually 2 completely different versions of the town for us to take a closer look at.
Oh wow!
The first one is a singular building with a spire. The funny thing is, it looks less detailed from far away, but as we get closer, we discover that it's a floating 3D model. It has windows, a door, and other features that are never visible to the player. For anyone wondering, it took about 10 minutes to get over here, and there's nothing inside the building. That would have been too cool. Imagine if Lee was just chilling in here.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
The second town is where things get interesting. Even from all the way back here, you can tell that it's a 2D image. This reminds me a lot of the castle in RE4. It looks amazing because depth perception doesn't exist.
Yo, also shout out Resident Evil 4. Also, I'm gonna kind of yap here. If you guys did Resident Evil 4, check out Panda Dares as well. He covers a lot of Resident Evil 4, a lot. And I only say that because I used to, as a kid, I played Resident Evil 4, beat the game 2 or 3 times, at least a few times, because I got the Chicago typewriter, then I remember getting the Infinite launcher, I remember getting some kind of revolver too. So I'm just kind of a semi Resident Evil 4 fan. I used to play it a lot as a kid, not anymore, not so much anymore though. And I would have reacted to all those videos, but I just fell off of it. But if you're into that, man, go check that out too, because he covers that pretty in depth. I've watched those videos.
This at such a distance. Only when we see it so close does the illusion fade.
Paper!
Still, I love both of these iterations and Telltale for their attention to detail.
Paper, yeah.
Tell me which one you prefer. Now back to the lore side of things. A common theory I've heard is that Downtown was a partially developed concept of one of Season 2's beta scripts. This season was notoriously plagued with last-minute changes, entire storylines scrapped or disgraced, and in this case, Telltale forgetting about their own material. Downtown can be boiled down to yet another continuity error on their behalf, and by the time this final game released, its purpose became insignificant, minus a few lines of dialogue. It may be far-fetched, but if Krista was still alive and heading north, a town full of supplies was a great stop along the way. There's nothing but positives to be gained from this, considering how close it was to rest and recuperate after camping out in the cold for days on end. Arvo's bandit group could have also inhabited the town at some point as they operated nearby and were all familiar with the trail. Why did Arvo decide to set up shop in the middle of nowhere instead of
in the
town?
fucking cold?
This means one of three things. Either the town was too dangerous to enter, it was a settlement that Arvo and his friends were kicked out from, or Arvo knew how well supplied the town was and didn't want to give it up, so he led them to his decoy/emergency hideout instead. Mostly
with
to
this
use
bitch ass house, bro. Like, yeah, fuck this bitch ass house. Again, why are we following some kid, bro? Like, we're running away we're walking away from a potential town to follow some kid to a not even finished house, bro. Like, this wasn't destroyed, bro. This just wasn't built. Like, this wasn't finished being built before the apocalypse hit. Like, this wasn't destroyed. Come on now, guys.
Frozen River as a trap and attempt his escape. Everyone fell for this, including Luke, who tragically lost his life. Just to confirm, yes, Lee could have easily walked around the river instead. Conveniently, Arvo didn't feel the need for this, including Luke, who tragically lost his life. Just to confirm, yes.
So, Kenny, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kenny, you didn't and no one questioned this. So, I'm looking at Kenny. I'm looking at Luke, too, with the hurt. Like, you're not thinking, like, hey, this is ice, bro. We, like, the whole thin ice, you're on thin ice, like, you're saying, bro, like, I'm injured. Can we not walk around? Like, no one even asked Arvo. Again, we're just following this fucking kid across this frozen pond, and then we all fall in, and we lose Luke. Clementine falls in, you know what I'm saying? We almost lose her. Thanks to Luke, he saved us. So, there's definitely a lot of, like, plot holes and, like, realism, and then, like, knowing the IQ of the group. Like, Kenny didn't say anything, Luke didn't say anything, we all just went with it. Clementine, you know what I'm saying, we all just kind of went with what Arvo said, and we just all dumb, stupid fuckedly walked across this ice pond, and then missed out on the city. They didn't even go investigate downtown at all.
Yes, Lee could have easily walked around the river instead. Conveniently, Arvo didn't feel the need to suggest this idea to the one guy at risk of falling through the ice, because Luke couldn't distribute his weight on both legs due to his injury, essentially doubling his surface pressure on the ice. That's what killed him. The third theory is correct.
And it's crazy, that's crazy how scientific that is too. Panda shout out for realizing that and putting that in the video. And also, if Arvo's that cat, also shout out, Telltale Studios for making that a thing. But also Arvo, cunning, evil, should have shot up first chance we got, in my opinion. Took his shit and left. Should have went downtown.
I mean, I've not only just proved without a shadow of a doubt that Arvo is an F-tier slimeball who intentionally killed Luke, but he was manipulating everyone from the start by lying about how close the hideout was, even though it was a few days' walk. And his reason for stashing the medicine at the observation deck and not where his sick sister lives was also a lie. It would have been amazing to see this as a fully rendered and playable location, but as it stands, it's yet another lost piece of Walking Dead media.
Right.
I would love to hear your theories about the town in the comment section.
And then I wonder what, with that, I just wonder how, who we would have met there, who we would have ran into there, what survivors were there. You know what I'm saying? Would we have met, if Krista was live, would we maybe ran into there? You know what I'm saying? Would we maybe ran into, Molly, if you guys remember her? All that. I just wonder, bro. I just wonder the what ifs, man.
And from the GOAT, EJIZZLE2000.
Hey! Hold on! Panda
Piece of Walking Dead media. I would love to hear your theories about the town in the comment section.
We got a shout out! Hold on, we got a shout out!
And from the GOAT, EJIZZLE2000.
EJIZZLE2000 got a shout out, baby! Oh yeah! Shout out Panda, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, man. We're here reacting to your videos. We're in the comments, too. 25-8 support when you make these videos, man. 100%. Oh, appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's Panda Dares. PD.
Oh, no.
With the Shizzy shout out. R.I.P. Nick. Like I said in the season 2 video, I always said that he went out kind of sad. And then he should have put up more of a fight. He went out sad as hell. He went sad. They just needed to get rid of him, so they
It's
did.
Nick.
The Sunshine Village Mobile Park is our stop for this mystery, a small yet cozy location and final resting place of Nick. Because Nick's death occurred off camera, the exact circumstances leading up to it are unknown to this day. With various interpretations online, we need to bring closure to this character once and for all.
How does Nick actually die? Nick's death was a passive suicide. He wasn't looking for help. He was looking to get himself killed. This is a good theory, but I have a feeling he tried to run away after getting bit by a walker. Then after he got away, turned, then got himself stuck. But I honestly can't say I'm right. I don't know. I think he went outside. I think Nick was totally capable of surviving by himself. I get he was a bit depressed, bro. I think he killed some walkers. I don't know. It was stupid. They just kind of run
The
him
most
off.
common answer is that the gunshot wound is what forced him to split up from the Kansara to seek help. Nick didn't die on the way in, he died on the way out, his body facing towards the forest, Luke confirming this at the trailer almost immediately.
Clem? Oh, thank God. Did Nick find you? He made a run for it. Looking for help.
I saw him outside.
His death was
damn.
easily preventable, but he took a risk and luck wasn't on his side this time. He got close, but at one point he got bit on his neck, and it was a combination of both injuries that led.
Okay, the neck bite and the shot. Damn. Yeah, damn. Damn, Nick. Damn, R.I.P. Okay, I didn't realize he got bit by... I don't know, I just feel like they could have shown it, bro. They could have
to
shown
his
it.
death. That's the general consensus, but there's a few other details that aren't talked about enough. First of all, it's hard to see in-game, but by manipulating the camera behind Nick, there's 2 more bite marks on his lower right leg. I've also found the exact walker who killed him. The closest one is this guy in the green tracksuit, almost in the same spot where Nick's body was found. He has fresh blood running down his mouth, and there's no other bodies within the trailer park to eat. Another walker such as the one who plays dead en route to the trailer could have bitten his legs first though. Well, that was a short one.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm not done with the trailer park just yet. There's one more mystery I wanted to share before discussing the big one at the end. Just outside the gates, there are a few unnamed corpses. As Jane said, most have died a long time ago. They carry credit cards and busted old pagers. I don't think I can show this on YouTube, but one of them has something inside its eyes. It was dead for a very long time.
Yo.
Season 1 of the
You can't show maggots and worms in people's eyes, bro?
Walking Dead game takes place in the comic timeline of 2003, so mobile... Season 1 of the Walking Dead game takes place in the comic timeline of...
Okay. The following is the timeline for the series explain what happened each day. There might be some details that are not entirely accurate. Keep in mind, all this is approximation at the best, speculation at worst. According to the information given in the games, the start of the outbreak is confirmed to be July. Oh, so summer of 03. Damn. Okay.
2003,
So they're like 2003.
so mobile phones weren't as popular back then.
Right.
It's these 2 here who spark my interest. Unlike 99% of bodies we come across, these are of recently deceased survivors. We're able to search one of them as Clementine, where we'll find 2 drivers. These are of recently deceased.
My bad. I was looking at the box. I thought it said something like a mart or something, like some kind of dairy mart or something like that. I thought it caught my eye really quick. My bad. I was looking at it. Yeah, I gotta stop looking at it. My bad.
Deceased survivors.
It's nothing.
We're able to search one of them as Clementine, where we'll find 2 driver's licenses belonging to him and his wife. His name is John Sanditsky. His wife's name is obscured. All we can see is her face and that she's an organ donor. Hopefully
Okay.
she didn't donate her organs to a walker like John here.
Yo.
This took a while, but if you get the angle just
Okay, so he's doing the camera thing again. See, it's pretty cool.
right, it's possible to catch her name underneath.
Oh, I see it. Tamara
Sanditsky.
See, and that's crazy, dude. That was in the game to be discovered, though. Like, the game, they intentionally did that. Like, they made it so you had to, like, fuck with it to go and do that. Hey, Telltale Studios, bro, good shit. Panadares, good job finding it out, man. It's pretty cool. You messing with the manipulation, man, and the camera bounds and everything.
It is unknown what happened to Tamara. John most likely kept the driver's licenses as a memory of her. Now that's an obscure Walking Dead character. Somehow, both of these people have wiki articles for us to read. Nothing is known about Tamara's life prior.
Damn. So they said, fuck the family in the park, bro. Right. I want to read this. Hold on. They have actual names. Yeah, brown, gray, and damn black. Mid to late 40s, early 30s. So there's an age gap. Unknown, late husband, wife, Polish American, Hispanic, unknown. So dead. Oh, so she can still be alive. She can still potentially be alive because it says unknown. He's dead. So that's crazy. They said, fuck the family in the camp. We're not even going to give them names or anything. We're not going to give them bios or anything, bro. But here, these 2 dead walkers, you know what I'm saying, that you just walk by, and if you don't investigate, it's on you. We're going to get in the whole, like, wikis. Okay. Interesting.
We'll have wiki articles for us to read. Nothing is known about Tamara's life prior to or as the outbreak began, except that she had a husband named John and lived in Virginia. I forgot to mention that these are Virginian driver's licenses,
Right,
a
Virginia.
state that we are not currently in. They must have travelled a lot, like Clementine and Krista during the 16-month time skip. I was in shock when I found this. I noticed that Tamara looked oddly similar to one of the 400 Days photographs. Survivor.
Oh shit, you might have some, Panda. You might have some. Cause I'm looking immediately, look at the lips. It's like, look at how it dips down right here, like on her lip, and like, look how it kind of, it's harder to tell in this image because it's like older, but look, you can kind of see the same dip, right? The shading on the neck is a bit different, but these two main lines are right here. Just these two main lines right here. And then the nose. Obviously, the thing that gives away to me is the nose. Like, look at the nose. There's still no bridge, It's the same exact nose. It's even positioned the same. Look, you got this nostril's protruding more than this one, or like it's more shaded than this one. Look, you can kind of tell. Same. If you look at it, you know what I'm saying? This one's more protruding, so it's more shaded. It's completely the nose. The eyes are a bit different, but it just looks like her eyes are a bit more open in this one. Eyebrows are a bit different, but that could have been cosmetics at the time. Maybe, I don't know. But the nose, for me, it's the nose and the lips, how it like dips down right here, like where my mouse is, my house is, and like on hers, you can kind of tell it like dips down right here too, and then the lines on the neck. I wish we got like more of a full body so I can confirm like the neck, like the collarbone. Yeah, I say so too though. This could be, you could have some Panda Dares. The nose, for me, it's the nose, bruh. The nose is what sticks out the most right here.
1 to be exact, and I was right. I didn't ever expect to find evidence of an ultra-obscure lost character elsewhere in another Walking Dead game, but this is definitely her, or a close relative at the very least.
It looks, that's what I'm saying. Look, they look like, yes. Yes. It's possible that Survivor 1 is supposed to be Krista, as they also look similar. Maybe tomorrow's there's another Krista concept before being her own character. Could be, but I don't think it's supposed to be Krista. The nose difference, it's hard to tell, like, on an actual character. She doesn't have the lines right here. She has a bridge. The thing is her bridge. These few people don't. They don't have, like, an actual bridge on their nose. She does. She has, like, a clear, defined bridge right here. Her lips are more, she doesn't have that dip we were talking about, like the dip right here. She doesn't have the dip I've been talking about in both these images. Like the lip dip, I guess you want to call it the lip dip. That's what you want to call it. She doesn't have that. Doesn't have the same collarbone. You see how hers like more defined like right here. Hers are more like, well, this is her neck. Never mind. That's a bad take. Never mind. I don't think it's Krista though. I don't think it's Krista.
Her status remains unknown, but John and his friend probably died to the herd that breached house. As former inhabitants of Sunshine Village, they may have constructed this wall of furniture as a defensive barricade. Without this, Luke and Sarah could have died a lot sooner.
Still alive, possibly the town across the river. Who knows?
Then we'll be ready.
Yo.
One of the most polarizing groups of people in Season 2 are the family. To encounter them, you need to shoot Kenny, then forgive Jane for everything she's done. Clem and Jane walk back to house and they notice a family of 3 slowly approaching from the rooftop. Randy, Patricia, and their adopted son Gil set up the final dilemma. Do we allow a desperate, starving family inside with an already insufficient food supply? Or do we turn them away and gain some aura points?
Gain some aura points.
Now, please, don't do this.
Are you sure you want to do this, little girl? I mean, what if we're dangerous?
And who says that, bro? Who says that to a little girl? And then, like, while you're clutching something in your back pocket, bro? Like, who says that to a little girl while they're clutching? I mean, I guess it is the apocalypse, bro. But it's like you got a girl with a baby in her hand. I get you have your own kid yourself, bro. But you're coming off hostile as hell. You need to chill out, clutching on that damn thing, bro. Before I shoot you. Yeah, pull that thing out. Yeah. Pull that thing out, Clem.
Regardless of our choice, we never actually see the family again. Letting them go will establish more of a cliffhanger. Jane says they might come back. Clementine responds, then we'll be ready. If we let the family inside, the dynamic is the polar opposite. Patricia hugs Jane and tells her how grateful she is, even though it was our decision. And Gil tries to make friends with Clementine by commenting on her hat. It's only Randy who comes across as shady by the way he always has one hand on his gun, the way he violently shrugs away his wife as if he's only using her and the child to solicit empathy, likely for his own benefit. And if you pay close attention, he never looks in their direction, he never talks to them
Look at his happy ass. See, look at it. Look at his eyes, bro. Yo, they did such a good job. Like, yo, look, we hit the jackpot. Look at his eyes looking around like he actually, like he just walked into, like, Jerusalem, bro. Like, man.
A real father wouldn't do it in violence to a little girl and a newborn kid if things didn't go his way.
Yo.
No ring on either hand, further proving my point that Randy is a liar who didn't know who these people were prior to the apocalypse. The question is, what did happen to them? For the answer, we'll need to take a look at the infamous New Frontier flashbacks. Both outcomes play out exactly the same depending on your choice. If you let them in, Jane says this.
We're on our own here, Clem. And after that asshole family we let in made off with half our food, we can't take any more chances.
And if you turn them away, the dialogue changes slightly.
We're on our own here, Clem. If we'd been doing this earlier, that asshole family you sent away never would have broken in and stolen from us.
Well, so much for that. Here I was in 2015 thinking Gil and Patricia were going to have major roles in Season 3. Instead, they're just that asshole family who steals from Clementine. Feels quite cheap, but so does the other flashbacks, to put it mildly. Before we talk about their odds of...
I will say, too, just the flashbacks, they obviously wanted to finally, with the New Frontier, they just wanted to finally move on from Seasons 1s and 2s and get rid of all those characters besides Clem and, like, make her the focus. And kind of transition from Clem, you know, from them to Clem and AJ, because they wanted to kill that, like, the passion that all the you know, whoever had, like, the remaining passion. For those people that had passion for Kenny, for those people that had passion for Jane, they just wanted to erase that and shift the story to finally say, like, okay, we're finally focusing on Clementine. Like, this is officially her. I mean, Season 2 was about that, but you still had Kenny there, you still had other people there from, you know, to make it. But now it's officially like, okay, she's the main character now. Like, there's no question about it. Like, there's no Kenny, no Jane, no Molly, none of that.
Survival. I have a small update regarding the 400
But yeah,
days
they did
cast.
that. But that's my point. They did kind of write off, like, the Season 1 and 2 characters kind of quick and early in Frontier, and I didn't like that.
In another flashback, Jane and Clem dispose of the remaining bodies that died in the herd, but not a single member of the 400 days cast are visible. Only Carver is. It's not much, but it's evidence to help prove my theory I've made in previous videos.
I mean, yeah, you never... When you go back, too, you think you would have seen the bodies, and you got to think, they were good, because all the characters... So, if you recall, all the characters from 400 Days, I believe, were on the roof shooting. So, they definitely had... They were safe to me. To me, honestly, they were safe. The zombies probably wouldn't have went away until all the humans were, like, gone, like, dead. But there were ways off the roof that you could have got away from the zombies once you mowed enough of them down on the outside. You could have jumped off. I don't know. I feel like there was definitely ways around that for all the survivors to, you know, survive.
That all of the 400 Days characters.
But that is true. We never did hear about them ever again.
The fate of the family are ultimately up to our own speculation. It's reasonable to assume if they believed that they were better off abandoning their only shelter for some food, that they were very confident of their survival skills. I think this plan was orchestrated by Randy, with Gil or Patricia having no say in the matter at all. That's really all I have to say.
Clem, yeah.
Maybe this wasn't the first time they've stolen from people. Eventually they were going to piss off the wrong people and have a target on their back. It's inevitable, and I would hate to see what's in store for them if they ever got caught.
Family's fate unknown, but probably spread a long time. We could see. You got to think they probably, who knows, they probably belong to another big group or something. There's probably more. Obviously, there's more to them. At least the guy. He seemed kind of grimy and dirty. So, who knows? And we never hear about that family ever again either. Ooh, 16th month time skip.
Krista, talk to me.
All we know about this absurd gap of time stretching a year and 4 months, by far the longest in the series, is that Krista lost her baby. Other than that, it's apparently uneventful. We can take Krista's word for it that they really were on their own, walking through the woods for all eternity. But that's boring. I went back to A New Frontier and Season 4 and started noticing that the only person who Clementine talks about in her past is Lee and her parents. So is it possible that Clementine witnessed more traumatic experiences, the death of friends, guardians like Lee, and entire groups fall apart, all within this void of time that I like to call Season 1.5? This is honestly the biggest question mark in the series for me, and my personal favourite to talk about.
It could be. I mean, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? That's something you got to think. Their group only stayed together for how many months? Like 3-4 months at most? Well, no, because you got to think they survived at least 3 months together. But a year and a half, like 16 months, that's a long time for stuff to happen. So I could see that. And then on top of that, Krista losing the baby. Yeah, I could definitely see like there's just shit hitting the fan or just shit not going right, running into multiple shitty people.
But because the possibilities are endless. How do you feel about the 16-month time skip in Season 2? Clementine's outlook on life completely changes from very optimistic to sullen and depressed.
Because of Krista,
this
though.
makes sense for the character as she had only an angry and bitter Krista to look after her, but we don't get to see any of it. The shift in personality can be attributed to many factors: her age, the ordeal with Krista after losing Omid and her child, or horrors outside our comprehension. Clementine's personality change is abrupt considering it's only been a year. Why do people hate the time skip? Because it's just unbelievable that nothing important happened between those 16 months. It's a hell of a lot of time in an apocalypse. Maybe it is intentionally kept a mystery. Imagine it this way: the skip was set up in order to place a gap, a hole in the story shrouded in hidden secrets. I'll leave this mystery here. I could return to this subject in a dedicated future video. Thank you everyone. Here's what's happening next. Michonne is going to be my last mystery compilation video.
Yeah, I guess the time skip, bro, if you can find evidence about that, I mean, yeah, but they don't really, I mean, Chris's baby, you just know she has it, then she doesn't after that. I don't know, they don't, and I don't know what they do, like, if they really implant, like, any, obviously that in itself, right, is like what happened during that time. That in itself is a mystery, like what happened to Chris's baby, like, officially, what happened to Chris's baby, during the time skip type shit. That is an actual mystery in itself. So they could, but I don't know that I don't know if they ever dropped like hits or like shit like other than that. Other than that, like I don't think they dropped like hints or like dialogue to imply that something like else major happened. But it definitely could have. It definitely could have in over a year. Yes, it definitely could have. It definitely could have.
I don't know when that's coming though. I just need a few more suggestions if you have any.
So I'm looking forward to this
General
too.
Walking Dead content is still a focus of my channel, but Michonne will be the finale of that particular series. My first New Frontier video had everything I could find, and Season 4 was my longest. Instead of the usual 5 mysteries, I made 10 the first time, so I don't think a part 2 is possible. If you'd like to ask anything or make a suggestion, please email me, join my Discord server, or you could follow me on Instagram if you want.
Get you follow on Instagram. Alright, yeah, bruh. Alright, man, yeah, shout out Panadares to the vid. I'm looking forward to Michonne. I did comment on. We have talked before. He is doing more. So once he does the Michonne, he is going to be doing the Wolf Among Us, which again I've covered. I played that game as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, the Wolf Among Us season 2 is nearly upon us. So I'm just looking forward to that in general. But yeah, man, Panadares. Also, thanks for the shout out, man. I appreciate the shout out again, man, and just shout out for all you do, because this is pretty hard. I just want to give credit to you, Panadares, because this is like pretty hard. You got to narrate, you got to write a script, you got to voiceover, you got to edit, you got to find stock footage. You know what I'm saying? You've got to actually play and investigate. You know what I'm saying? What you do is not easy. You got to go. You got to mess with the balance to actually find things, like the whole Tamara Sandusky. Like that was just crazy, man. So it's a lot of work, and again, I appreciate the shout out. So yeah, man. All right, bro. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.